Well, hello again, folks, and coming to you with my skull cap on, my bicycle skull cap, because hey, I like to ride my bicycle, I like to ride my bike. Yes, I do. What a beautiful day for that as well. Today, folks, I wanted to go a little bit esoteric. Nothing quotable here, nothing referenced here, just a few ideas that I've touched on before, maybe many years ago. I think it's very important now because a lot of people are getting a little bit freaked out by their freedoms being taken away. And I think this is a wake-up call for us to really grasp our genuine freedom. Now, be with me for a second here. This is not scripted other than a couple of notes on my wrist of an idea I had while I was riding, which is that our true freedom emanates not from the dictates of others or the allowances of others. This is something we've been accustomed to, we've been programmed into because we were raised in a familial setting where our parents were basically God. But for us to become adults is to rise to our human sovereignty nature. And sovereign, I mean sovereign amongst other men and women. That's what I mean by that. Something to think about. And there's something very interesting here, which I don't know if anybody else has touched on it before, which is the relationship between words that span cultures, but yet are very, very similar. And I'm talking about referencing back to the Inner Genie project. The reason I call it the Inner Genie project is because the genie is a very old character of Middle Eastern origin, which has as its name something very similar to what a lot of other cultures talk about in terms of inner strength. Think of this, because words get transformed, and there's the consonant sound and the vowel sound within a word. I don't know if this is true or not, but if you look at the word consonant, it means con, son, with sound. That's the sound of it. So that's the main part of it. And the vowel, you see vol in there. It sounds like volume, or the tone, if you will, of the sound. So a lot of times the consonant will change a little bit and the vowel will change a little bit, but that's akin to accents in a way, right? But if you look at the word genie, the first part, the jinn, you see that show up in the Arabic world as jinn, which is this flighty little character of power in a way. Maybe seen as a little bit not so great, but it is almost like the human aspect in a way. I could be wrong on this, maybe it could be corrected on this. But you see it showing up in the Latin roots as well. You see in French, I is je, or je, right? In Spanish, it's yo. But yo and je is the same when you translate words. I remember years ago when I was in Yugoslavia, I always spelled Yugoslavia with a Y. They spell it with a J. It's a Yugoslavia or a Yugoslavia. And the Spanish don't even say yo, they say yo, kind of a little bit. It's like a j and a y all together. So you have j, yo. You have also genie, Jesus. That's interesting, isn't it? Jesus, G, Zeus. I am Zeus, in a way. It could say that, right? I am, the great I am. And then you get into I. That, if you look at that word, it's like yai, I. You can almost put a consonant in front of it. Jai, in a way. I mean, this is a little bit out there. But it's interesting how even within all these related languages, Indo-European languages, it's not surprising that there would be some sort of an etymological relationship. But what's interesting is that when you jump over the Himalayas, you find chi, which sounds a bit like G, right? Inner genie, chi. And that's the power that they have. It's like that inner alma, that inner soul in a way. But not more than that, the life force, if you will. Now, take that for what you will, and for a moment, walk with me on another side of it. Look at the word virus. That's very interesting. Sometimes things are hidden in plain sight. I don't know if any of this is true. It's just my observation, because I like sounds. And if they keep showing up in different areas of similarity, that's not just a coincidence, I think. Virus. What are the first three letters? V, I, and R, especially the V and the R, right? Where do we see that show up in other parts of language? How about virtue? V-I-R. How about truth in many of the Latin languages? V-E-R, or ver, right? Verdad, also greenery. Greenery is an expression of life. That's vert, or verde in many languages. Virus. I gotta look up what the rus is. I'm not sure what it is. Perhaps similar to Jesus. I'm not sure. But it's interesting how you have the word truth, goodness, life within the first three letters of virus. And yet it is virus that is inflicted upon us, which has done what? Has separated us, has divided us. It has not brought us together. We are told to stand distance, to socially distant ourselves because of life, because of truth. And isn't that interesting? What would we see on the internet? The people who spoke truth got divided, got separated. But that wasn't enough. So we had to put a virus, a truthus, within there. The real truth, of course. The CCP truth into there. The CCC virus. And get pushed away. This is the nature, folks, I think, of the great deceiver. To use the goodness that we inherently have to divide us. I know this is metaphorical. It's very metaphorical, but I think it's rather apropos for today. Because I think it's important for us to recognize where our true freedom lies. It doesn't lie out there or down there in what we created. It lies deep within ourselves. So it doesn't matter what the great deceivers of the world are doing anymore, when we recognize this, because we have the recognition of the life within us, the truth within us, the goodness within us, the virtue within us, the I am within us. When we recognize that, and we rest in the bosom within that, we can sustain so much hardship, because the hardship is out there. It seems to be never within that solitude of the I am, of what we truly are, of what we truly, truly are, which is life. Let's embrace it. And let's not let the great deceivers of the world enter our consciousness and make a home in there. Let's look up and look back at who or what, if you will, creates us and sustains our life. Be thankful for that. And from there, we recognize is where our real freedom emanates. Folks, if you like this sort of conversation, chime in, let me know, share it out, and let's start a movement of people who recognize the beauty of human life, of human existence, and the wonderful creative power that dwells in there. And let's not be deceived by the great deceiver. Talk again soon. Bye-bye for now.